a video reply from my man Latitude here, civil engineer. I believe he's in England. Nevertheless, I love trolling. And I told him I was trolling about the concrete. That I can that I think you can show that concrete is just with sand and Portland cement. That constitutes concrete. Well. That trolls everybody. Everybody hates that one. I just say you got your multiple size aggregates. The sand. I never said the sand was sieved to one size. So you got multiple sizes, and you got Portland. That gives you it gives you a grout, and a grout. It can give you a grout. A grout can give you 9,500 psi. We know that what they're going to use Euclid. I always pronounce their name wrong. Grout on the FIU bridge, for example. But let's go on. I got him. I sucked him in a little bit, having a little fun, Latitude. And the trick is, I never said use ACI to make this concrete. I'm using ACI as a standard, though, saying how you use, multiple size aggregates with Portland to make a concrete. But I never said use ACI, so I have multiple size aggregates in my sand, and I have a Portland cement. I've got basically a concrete mix, different size aggregate, micro scale. All right, that's my thing. I never said use ACI. You haven't got me on that one. So, but what you said here was aggregates are not made from sandstone. ... That's a fact. Well, we come here to constituents of concrete aggregates, ASTM C294, and the aggregate sediment rocks include sandstone. So I know you said it's a fact, and you might be an old engineer, but you got to come out of this, guys. You engineers, you got to start, stop having just a limited bit of data. If you don't love concrete, you shouldn't be fully talking about it. If you don't love steel, you shouldn't be fully talking about steel. You got to love concrete and be willing to change your position as you find new research and data. But this bridge has a combination of multiple things. It's got spans, it's got concrete, it's got post-tensioning in two directions, it's got transfer of loads, it's got a lot of things going on. And I don't know how we got the sandstone, that you had to add that. Subconsciously, you might have read somewhere that sandstone was okay, but you wrote in here, aggregates are not made from sandstone. That's a fact. Well, there you go. So Latitude, I'm going to give you a fail on that one. You got a fail on this one. Also, you're going to get a fail on you saying it's not concrete. That you stated his master's, his civil engineering degree and master's informs me. I thought that was a long time you took that degree. Anyway, that concrete mix without aggregate of the right size will not behave in the manner engineers design structures. Well, this is true. If they design that concrete, it's a mixed design. Whatever the mixed design can do, you operate under that mixed design. That's it. The mixed design just can change. You can use a pea gravel. You can use an angular stone of 3/8. You can use a 3/8 to 3/4 range. You can use a 1-inch range if you want, down to whatever size you want or up to whatever size you want. It's your call. But you test it also. It also only going to work in a certain capacity. I find all cube testing is just defective in nature. No one's rotting 21 times. Any in the field is not being rotted 21 times. I just find that defective to use that as any data, and no one's putting it in a lab. So I just find that again to be just defective. Cube testing, I kind of like cube testing. The 2-inch cubes, that's a lot of that going on. But nevertheless, cracks are not mysterious. They always have a reason why they happen. It's not random. So all engineers and all contractors watching this, cracks are never random. There is a reason behind every single crack. Let's go on here. Then you go on extract to inform me of the rest of your opinion in a factual way. Hence, I'm at a loss to understand what the experiment is showing. Okay, fair enough. It has nothing to do with a beam concrete construction. Well, I don't know if it does or not. Do you? It also has nothing to do with a reinforced structure. I don't know if that's true or not because you're making too many conclusive files. It can clearly be testing the concrete separately without the reinforcement. And then there could be another video where they show the reinforcement applied, the same mix design, and now they see the failure. So you just can't make this latitude. You just got too many damn jumps and conclusive files here, buddy. All I can think is, and this is limiting yourself, all I can think is they wanted to see how the stress break pattern would evolve. That's it. As that is only what I got from the video. Wow, that's so limited, buddy. You know, open your brain up here. I thought you told me you're an older guy. You seem like you're a younger guy now. Frozen. Please understand that reinforced concrete behaves differently to pre-stressed concrete. And I know you must have got auto-corrected on this concrete word, or maybe that's the way you spell it in England. I think, did you say you were from England? I don't know. So anyway, so yeah, that's a given. The difference between the two is like night and day. Okay, that's redundant, but okay. Likewise, the behavior of non-reinforced block or concrete to one that has rebar is also like night and day. Well, likewise, the behavior of non-reinforced block. All right, so non-reinforced block, it's a block. A block is a block. Reinforcement can have fiber in it, for example. So you're locking yourself in here. To one that has rebar is like night and day. Well, I haven't found any block with rebar in it. Reinforcement bar inside block, I found the structure to have rebar in it, but I have never defined any block built yet that they made a typical block with rebar in it. Now, I'm confused here. Reinforced block. So what's the goal line here? What kind of block are we talking about? This is a big New Jersey barrier block. Is that what you're referring to? I have no idea here. This doesn't work for me. Further, having a mix without the right aggregate dimensions is not concrete. Well, without the right aggregate dimensions. Well, this is kind of true based on if your test design. So for everybody watching, and you can learn, is that concrete companies often make their own testing of their materials. They have materials they can resource. And then they test those materials over 1-2 years in cubes and 1 foot in labs, failing, etc. And when they finally reach the limits and they figure out what this thing can do, elastic, plastic, elasticity, etc. They then put forward that this concrete can do this. Now they use an engineer with some testing and some lab work with this. And they can state that I can give you 3,500 PSI concrete. Now you can't change their mix. You can't say, great, and now I want you to add another bag of Portland to that for me, whatever you have. That's changed the mix design. It's no longer 3,500 plus a bag of concrete per yard. You didn't just make 4,500 concrete. In fact, you might have weakened the design. So you just can't do what you want to do. If you want 4,500 PSI concrete and you're going to put it 6 inches thick, ideally you want to know that your factory, your manufacturer tested this concrete is 6 inches. They're testing it at 1 foot. They're testing it 2-inch cubes. 2-inch cubes would be good in your favor. This is the point I'm making, is that the manufacturer's doing this. I don't see any engineers, save myself, playing around with mixed designs. But remember, I'd have to resource the same material again. The same material, and that's not going to be quite consistently possible. These bigger suppliers of concrete suppliers do resource the materials in huge bulk, right? Okay. So this is interesting. Further, having a mix without the right aggregate dimensions is not concrete. It's still concrete, but it may not be the approved design. It is still concrete, but it may not be the approved design. Go look up the definition. Sand is not aggregate. Well, I never said, well, I don't know where you want me to look up the definition, but I never established. You established it. And if you guys know, if you're engineers, you know you always find the playbook before you start running your mouth. So if I'm going to build in Philadelphia, I have to look at Philadelphia playbook of current day. If I want to question somebody's build that was built 10 years ago, I have to look at the playbook of 10 years ago and see if the playbook was followed. You're throwing in a playbook that I never gave you. I never gave this. That's my trick question latitude. And as an engineer, you should know that. It's always about the playbook. You established a playbook that I did not. Aggregates are not made from sandstone. Now you made a statement, and I just showed you where that's not true. Aggregates per your Jimmy Jammy statement are made of sandstone. Now on the flip side of that, if you want to establish a playbook and say, well, aggregates are not made of sandstone of the mix I'm making up, well, I don't get that. You can't have your cake and eat it too, buddy, because you're not using the playbook rule that I'm throwing back at you. That's a fact. Okay, gotcha. I did not know where you're getting that idea, and the spelling is wrong, from it is wrong. Okay, you're powerful on that. Well, now I show that you're wrong. As for my theory, the FIU, now this is theory, so I'm not going to really attack this. This is a personal theory. The FIU bridge collapsed due to the pre-stressed member 1111 became elastic due to the force reaching its exceeding counterforce to keep the member in compression. It became elastic, he said. Well, that's not failure. Elastic is not failure, so okay. The fact that when the bridge was moved into place and developed 10 millimeter brake lines should have informed the all-women engineering team they had to perform tests before allowing any self-load to be taken up the bridge. All right, well, it's your opinion. My conclusion, engineering team on site were kids playing at engineering. You got me on that one. None of them had any true site expertise. You got me on that one. You just don't allow workers to pre-tension up bars without understanding what force it was carrying at the time. Got me on that one. Just in case you over-tension it. Got me. That's what those monkeys did and killed 6 humans that were so easily prevented. Agreed. Easily is, your spelling is wrong. And I'm not a grammar person. You can tear me up with this same thing I'm tearing you up with. The director and all those all-women team need to be struck off the register, and some go to jail. Okay, so I see your bias there against the woman thing. I'm not hating. I just see your bias, and it's your opinion. I did a video stating that, there's the woman. I can show you that women put their hand in it, but men put their hand in it too. I'm not trying to cancel out your attack here. The fact that the bridge is moving into place and developed 10 millimeter brake lines should have informed the all-women engineering team. So you said the fact when the bridge was moved into place and developed 10 millimeter. I don't know if it's a fact that it was moved into place and developed 10 millimeter brake lines. I don't know that as a fact. I've seen nobody make a clear presentation. There's 10 millimeter brake lines and they develop when it's made in place. We see photographs, we make assumptions, but this, I can't accept this as factual data. Even with all my crap that I put up here, I can't throw down that your statement here. I don't have that as a fact. I see photographs and all. I see dates. I still need more verification of the photographs and dates. I need to know the guy's phone wasn't off by a day, etc. All right. And here's my response. I thank you for your conclusive file on the beam design failure and other statements you made. I do realize you do not like the idea of that concrete does not have to be of a certain aggregate size to make concrete. The shorter answer is fine aggregate. You should Google fine aggregate. And the second part of my trick concrete statement was I never established a plan ground of using ACI to manufacture, quote, concrete. Haha. Okay, enough of that fun troll concrete statement. On to the concrete load test. I love different size aggregate and add mixes. As you can tell, I do not have any issue with them not using ACI guidelines. We made concrete way before ACI showed its limiting face. We're also proof that microconcrete is badass and reach 9,500 psi in 28 days, no problem. They are not just Portland cement. In other words, you're just not flapping together Portland cement. They're making a micro concrete. Terminating video. I hope this was good for you guys. Latitude. I don't know, buddy. You gotta stop being so aggressive here, man. You gotta dial down your and that's kind of attack against you. I don't know. You got a lot of conclusive files here, buddy. You need to open up. Open up.